Madison County Chamber President Clayton Whitson checks in with us on this edition of The Buzz. And as far as the business of doing business, there's plenty to talk about. Clayton, we'll look ahead through the summer here shortly. But first of all, how did spring play out for the Chamber and Madison County businesses?
I tell you what, it's been a flurry of activity here within the business community. We had a few holdovers on some ribbon cuttings from last year, but we have just been on fire with expansions and various offerings that folks have wanted our ribbon cutting services for. We've done nearly a dozen of them over the last 2 months. We've had 38 new members join the chamber just since January. And I think those are both really strong indicators that the Madison County economy is really bouncing back post-COVID.
Do you think a lot of people found a way to do business during COVID that works better for them even post-COVID?
I think so. I think some of the platforms and technologies that were introduced because you had to have them, people have realized that, that's really kind of a time saver, and it's really made business more efficient. So you're seeing more Zoom meetings despite growing vaccination numbers, just because it cuts out commute time and it enables us to be more productive, enables us to, choose to work remotely when that helps suits our work-life balance. And having some of these modifications, what we needed out of necessity, are really kind of helping us adapt into more productive work lives.
Do you feel like that has helped the chamber to connect with chambers in other parts of the state as well?
Certainly, it's been an invaluable asset here. It's no secret that I am a big advocate of the case method, copy and steal everything. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. If there's another region that is doing something progressive and that is really benefiting their area, why not hear from them and see what their success stories were? And perhaps they can give you some insights into what some of the pitfalls early on in new initiatives that they're trying to implement were. So we reach out to other chambers and other city leaders from across the state and really across the region into Kentucky and Michigan with pretty regular basis. And it's always great to just hop on a Zoom call without having, to make a 2-hour drive to Bloomington or a 4-hour drive to Evansville, and be able to connect with other state leaders to hear what they're doing in their regions to improve their community.
Let's take a little bit of a look in the rearview mirror before we pull forward. What has this spring looked like? Some of the things that we may have missed out on if we haven't been paying attention.
So if you haven't been paying attention, at the Indiana General Assembly, as a result of some excess COVID relief funds, they released $500 million, $500 million to the IEDC, the Indiana Economic Development Corporation, in the form of the Ready Grant Initiative. And over the last 2 months, the Corporation for Economic Development, CED, and the Madison County Chamber have been trying to coordinate all of Madison County's efforts towards our Ready Grant proposal. We are nearing the finish line of our participation in this. We have signed on with a regional partnership with Hamilton and Marion counties for a White River Corridor initiative that will hopefully obtain some of these grant funds to really spur both innovation and economic development efforts immediately and then for years to come. In the early part of April, our board made the determination that following CDC guidelines, we were able to go back to in-person meetings, and as another indicator of both a booming business climate here in Madison County, but also the people's wantingness for that personal touch, we have sold out our last 5 events, Fab and Wake Up. And a part of that is programming, but I think a large part of that is people are ready to get back to what we called business as normal, and get back to some of those networking opportunities and get back into growth mode. We've come out of this pandemic and a lot of folks were kind of in crisis mode, and now we're in growth mode and we're ready to hit the ground running.
The White River Corridor initiative that you referred to a few moments ago, for those of us who are not operating small businesses in the Madison County area, but rather are just on the consumer side of it, how will we realize benefit from that?
The package that we are putting together for Madison County's component for the Ready Grant proposal is really focusing in 2 main areas. The first is directly tied to business. When we do our business visits and we talk to our business leaders, the number one complaint that we're hearing across all industries is that of available workforce. People cannot find the volume of qualified applicants that they need. So we're submitting some proposals that will really bolster our workforce development efforts around here, specifically geared towards keeping Madison County talent in Madison County. The brain drain is a very real threat here to Madison County, and we see it all the time with our young people going off to college and then not coming back. They'll come back to visit mom and dad, but they won't come back here to work. And so what we're doing is trying to put together a comprehensive package from K-12 through higher ed and beyond, and adult ed services as well, that will really boost Madison County's workforce efforts so that we can meet our growing workforce needs. The second part of that is our quality of place rankings. We're putting together countywide a package that will really bolster all things quality of life, from trails to parks to water quality, you name it. And we think that our package here will be highly competitive to those that we've heard from other state leaders.
From the institutional standpoint, you have some really good partners to work with locally. Could you speak to that just a little bit?
Obviously, we are official partners with the Corporation for Economic Development, but all of these efforts couldn't be done without the folks out at Flagship. Terry Truitt and his crew are doing a fantastic job. Sometimes I feel they don't get the credit that they deserve. Bankable, in particular, is a huge asset to have right here in Madison County. And for those that aren't aware, Bankable is a micro lender for businesses that aren't yet ready or eligible to secure financing through a traditional bank. And so they help them and guide them through the process until they are able to receive a bank loan, thus becoming bankable. And a part of our package really focuses on Bankable and what we can do to expand efforts there, from entrepreneurial incubation and providing some co-working opportunities at the Flagship. We think that will really help build a new class of small business here in Madison County. And all of this is dependent on municipal leaders in government that are willing to work with us in CED and see what the vision is here for Madison County. And so far, every municipality from Orestes to Pendleton, Elwood, Alexandria, and Anderson, everyone is on board and thinking regionally what is going to benefit Madison County as a whole and the entire White River corridor. And that's been really remarkable to see.
Have you had any input from the housing industry as to how Madison County is holding up?
We have several realtors that are chamber members, and we communicate regularly with folks at MyBor. This is not Madison County specific, but we are in a housing shortage. There's simply not the available inventory right now that we need to sustain Madison County growth. And if we don't address this soon, from a workforce standpoint, the growth will go around us. Folks are going to move to where the homes are. Now, I do know that no one else has an advantage over us currently. Everyone seems to be struggling, which is why you're seeing property values skyrocket, because there's just simply not the volume in our region to accommodate the growth that is coming up from the Indy metro area.
The mean property value has, like you mentioned, just skyrocketed. Is that troubling from the standpoint of trying to get people located here so that they can make their lives here?
It's a double-edged sword. You want strong and robust property values, but you also need the median household income to increase proportionate to that so that folks can afford to live here. And all of that to say that, you need to be able to provide an adequate amount of affordable housing so that you're not in a situation of gentrification. So it's a pretty complex issue that I know that MyBor is looking at, and CED and ourselves are involved in those discussions as well.
Looking ahead to a bright horizon of things to come, you have an exciting season stacked up so far, and you're still adding to it.
We do. Just this month, we've got our Chamber United Way Golf Classic. This is the 14th year that we've partnered with the United Way, and we are at 41 teams already registered for that, which is phenomenal. We had the good fortune of securing Mina Hawk from the HGTV show Good Bones to be our next Fab speaker. Those tickets sold out in one weekend, which was just incredible. And then two on our governmental advocacy side, two big wins that we've had just in the last week. The Lieutenant Governor, Suzanne Crouch, will be attending our Wake Up Breakfast in August to share all the updates on all of the initiatives that her office oversees, from some workforce initiatives to the Main Street organization and Okra. And then Governor Holcomb, true to his word, he was scheduled to be our State of the County keynote speaker last year. Obviously, that was a COVID washout. He has graciously agreed on October 7th to come back to Madison County to again headline our State of the County event there. So we've got a pretty impressive lineup of speakers coming here in the near future to chamber events.
You said goodbye to some really good talent for a well-deserved retirement with Carlene Gunter, but I understand that her chair is not empty anymore.
Carlene chose to retire as she left here at the end of June. And you want to talk about big shoes to fill. She knows everyone in this community, has developed so many relationships. And I feel a little bit guilty because I know a lot of folks in Madison County are struggling on the workforce front. I really feel we hit a home run. We did the best we could to replace her. So we have brought on Rachel McCracken as our new business development manager, and she has hit the ground running and is just running 90 miles an hour, getting to know everyone in the membership and really just trying to boost the Madison County business community. So it's been really exciting to see her kind of learning everything. And we were in the good fortune to be able to have her onboarded about a month and a half before Carlene's retirement. So Carlene was a huge asset in kind of showing Rachel the ropes and showing her all things Madison County.
And we learned that Rachel has a diverse background, including owning her own small business. We congratulate Rachel as she settles into her new post at the Chamber, as well as congratulating our friend Carlene Gunter as she embarks on retirement. Our thanks to Clayton Whitson, president of the Madison County Chamber, for the chat this week, and our thanks to you for listening. Support the small businesses in your community. Your community's future depends on it. And that's the latest buzz of Madison County.